Chris Level here with another edition of Patriot Talk. Been way too long since we've had this guy on the show, Coach Joe Sexton. You've seen him out and about doing a variety of different things. He's been at wrestling recently and swimming and basketball and all the things. I'm probably missing some things as well, golf and all that. But main focus, football. We got some news last week, district realignment. And we're going to actually get into in this show with Coach your football schedule, I think, for the next 2 years.
Right.
So, okay. So, first of all, how you doing? Good.
I'm good.
Good, like spring-ish so far.
You know, as long as it's not the dirt's not blowing or we don't have snow on the ground, it's pretty good.
And when they're doing construction out there at old Liberty High School,
We get a little dirt.
It can jostle the dirt around just a tad. Okay, so let's go back to December, I guess, whenever you get numbers and classifications, you guys kind of had a feel for how this district would look.
Right.
But you weren't ultimately sure. You keep hearing conversations, not sure if we're sending this north or south or whatever. Ultimately ended up like you thought?
Yeah, it was spot on.
Okay.
You know, you really, you can guess and guess and guess, but until the UIL reveals it last Thursday, you have no clue really where you're going to go. I mean, most of the coaches that we talked to had a pretty good feel that we were going to be in a North District with Perryton-Borger and Levelland and Estacado, and so we kind of put together a little coaches meeting on Wednesday last week, just to try to hammer out a district schedule. So in the event that we were in that district, we were ready to go, so we didn't have to do anything on Thursday. Thursday is chaos.
It can be, yeah.
There were coaches all over the state calling us, wanting to know if we had games and if we had openings, and you just feel really bad for those guys when you roll in and they don't have games, and because if they would have put us in another district, we would have been in trouble, But we felt pretty good about it, and so we went
and everybody
ahead.
else in this district kind of felt the same.
Right.
We think, yeah.
Right.
So this is going to be District 2 4A.
2
so
4A.
You've moved up a classification. It's a 5-team district. This is just football, mind you.
Right.
We'll get some other folks on that are coaching volleyball and basketball and all that, and it's a different deal. But this is just football, so I want to make that clear. Borger, Estacado, local school, Levelland, semi-local-ish.
Yeah,
and
enough.
then Perryton. You've got some ties to Perryton. Am I saying that correctly? I've heard.
Yeah, there is no.
I've heard people get kind of prickly about how it's stated.
Well, that head coach that's down the road down there, he likes to jab me with the ing in there. Perrington. He does that.
Okay, well, how do you say it? What's the correct? Perry. Okay, Perryton. Okay, yeah. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, there you go. Stomping grounds for you at one time or another, yes?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Speaking of wind and dust blowing, I mean.
Yeah, there's not much between there and Canada. that's the story up there.
But this is, because this is all about like the classification you're in, and it's very different than 3A, which was very local other than Childress.
Right.
This one is just different in that there's some, because I think people were wondering about a Seminole. You're wondering about some of these, Midland Greenwood, who's going to be on your schedule. Seminole will be too, but it's just you weren't sure who you're going to get paired with. But Perryton and Borger are.
It's a haul.
It's
a haul up there.
Out there.
When you're putting a schedule together, Coach Tolliver and Coach Newton were big helps on, trying to put all this together. When you put it together, you're, hopefully trying not to schedule anybody that you're going to run into in the playoffs. But it's pretty tricky because, there's not a whole lot of people looking for games because they've already had an established schedule. So they already had games, so they're really not looking. So when somebody calls and they're willing to lock in, you better get it because, it can change in a hurry. You could roll in that morning of the realignment, and all of a sudden they go, well, sorry, coach, we found somebody else. We're not going to play you. I saw that happen to a lot of coaches, and it's kind of demoralizing when you think you have a game locked in, and then all of a sudden you don't, and now it's pure panic of trying to find a game. So we were pretty fortunate. Most of the teams that we talked to in advance were all pretty solid on being able to play. So one of the drawbacks is obviously one of the districts that we're going to, pretty much everybody that we're going to play is from a district that we'll run into probably the first round of the playoffs. So
there's potential and possibilities for a redo here.
Right. And that's just how it is.
Okay.
There wasn't anybody else calling wanting games. So I had to get what we could get.
Okay, and we'll put up the graphic. You've sent this out to I think some of your parents, but we'll put the graphic up for those. The tricky thing here is that four road games to start out the season.
Right.
And let's get into why.
I've already had questions about that.
There are. Speaking of dirt moving and all those things, there is movement at Liberty High School. I see some cinder blocks going way up into the sky. There's some steel framing over there where the indoor would be. But kind of let's talk construction as it relates to the football, and then we'll get into the why there's some road games initially. But where's the timing of everything right now?
Well, it looks like by the end of August we should be able to move in.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be completely finished, but it'll probably be good enough that we can move in, and that's kind of what we're shooting for. That's the timeline that I've heard. You're talking about bricks going up. If you drive out there, you see the elevator shaft going up for the stadium, then back to the
press
north.
Box,
yeah, and then back to the north, you've got the field house starting to take shape just a little bit, and the indoor coming in. So hopefully by the end of August we'll have those. So we wanted to give construction a little bit of time to, we didn't want to say, hey, August 30th, we got a home game and we need this thing ready, because that's a lot of pressure, especially during this time of the year. We don't know what kind of weather we're going to have between now and then. You're kind of at the mercy of the weather for just a little bit. So we purposely stayed away for about an extra month to try to give construction time to get everything done.
Okay. Yeah, Fort Stockton on September the 27th is set to be the first home game. And so we're clear here. The way this works is this is basically going to be your same schedule next year, just opposite.
Yeah,
and
we'll just flip sides.
You're going to be on the bus for 4 straight weeks. Although at New Home is not really like a
if you look at it, New Home's not that far away. Idalou is not that far away. Yeah. Seminole's a little over an hour away. So really the only haul that we've got on that first 4 road games is Monahan's, and
which is on the other side of Midland, Odessa.
Right.
Yeah.
That's probably the farthest one that we have. And then luckily, when we start district week 7, we got Perryton at home, so we don't have to go.
Yes, so you go 4 road, 3 home in a row. Yeah, and then and all that. So.
I think it's going to be good. I was happy. All the coaches are happy with our schedule. When you put it together and it works out, and you don't have to change a whole lot of it, you're pretty happy. So we were pumped that we didn't have to go hunting looking for games. There were a lot of schools, like I said, called us Thursday morning looking for multiple games. Do we have 3 weeks open? Do we have 4 weeks open? And so sorry, can't help you.
Yeah. And I think people can look at this a variety of different ways. You probably have looked at it every which way you can. But bottom line is, Estacado is a good program.
Yes.
And they are going to be an absolute handful in your district and in every sport. But football, what we're talking here, they've got some speed and size, and they'll be a handful.
Yes, they will. I would say that they're probably the top dog in the district. I would think. They made a playoff run last year, and Coach Blaylock does a great job over there. Talked to him a little bit Thursday morning, and he's a great coach. So it's going to be it'll be tough with those guys. And really these other teams are, in the past they've had a lot of success. So it'll be a challenge for us, but I think our guys are going to be ready to go. They were all pretty excited. A lot of the kids were excited about actually seeing teams that were.
Well, you want to know who you're
play.
practicing for. Like, what's the?
And our 2 scrimmages are going to be tough. We're going to scrimmage Pampa and Bushland, and that's.
But Bushland especially is
right.
good at pretty much everything.
We'll find out what we've got right off the bat.
Oh yeah. Bushland's like Wall.
Right.
Yeah,
they're good at everything.
Yeah, they are to Amarillo like Wall is to San Angelo down there. Yeah, so at New Home, at Idalou, at Monahans, at Seminole versus Fort Stockton versus Midland Greenwood, 6 non-district games, and then the district schedule starts. Perry Tidborger, Estacado, and then at Levelland to finish it up. Coach Leong, who I've known for a long, long time, coaching the Lobos, right?
Right.
Yeah. So.
And then hopefully on to the playoffs.
Yes, which is
it's going to be different for us.
And everybody but one will make it. And you would be, since you're in District 2, you're going to be partnered up with District 1 in the playoffs, like as far as the by district and all that. And then away we go here.
Away we go. But with all the driving that we did this year, I don't think any of these trips really even affect our kids, because especially the freshman team. Gosh,
normal.
Those guys.
Permanent road trip.
Those guys went all over the place.
They're like the Washington Generals with the Globetrotters.
Always on the road.
A constant road team. Yeah.
And our sub-varsities will play a opposite schedule there, so most of their games, until we kind of get the stadium squared away, we'll play over at Cooper Middle School, which that's a great stadium, got a great field, good facility for sub-varsity games, and we get to play our freshman and JV games will both be at home.
And people always wonder why it's opposite. It's about your staff as much as anything,
right.
Because like when you're about to get on the road trip or go on a road, you keep your staff at home the night before, so they're not driving back and forth back-to-back nights, right. And all those things. There's a lot to it as far as that goes too.
So just looking at it, really Monahans is the big road trip early, and after that, everything's pretty good. Got to go all the way to Levelland.
Yeah, which is what
30 minutes.
30 minutes. Yeah,
so it's pretty good. Now the next year we'll get to play all these games at home.
Yeah, because it flips. Yes. Have to drive to Fort Stockton and Midland Greenwood, but the first 4 games will all be at what are we going to call it? Patriot Stadium?
I haven't heard a name yet.
Well, we just come up with one.
I like Patriot Stadium.
We can do whatever we want.
Yeah, for right now.
That's right. But the Patriot Stadium, we'll go that route. And real quick, next year, before I let you out of here, and we could talk some as the spring goes along. But you're going to have 3 teams, just 2 this year. In the first year, JV, or you actually had a JV and a freshman team. Next year, you'll have 1 at each classification.
Yes, we'll have 3 teams. We'll have a varsity JV and a freshman team. We've got probably roughly about 85 freshmen coming from what we can see right now. So that's
more than what you have playing football.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're going to double our numbers. I'm expecting, barring any.
You got enough helmets?
I think we're good. Okay. We're good on helmets and shoulder pads. Okay. So I'm expecting about 170 football players next year. And that's pretty much double what we had this year. So, it's a challenge again. I thought most of our challenges were going to come this year. I think we're going to have a few more next year as far as, just where we're going to put everybody. But, the staff's been working on it and how we're going to, treat each team and where they're going to go and where they're going to dress and uniforms. Of course, with a new team, you're having to outfit a, brand new team, so that's part of our planning process also. But we're excited. This freshman group coming in is going to be really good, and we're excited to get those guys up here. The freshman team that we had this year, there's going to be a lot of those guys that got a lot of valuable experience last year, and I think we're going to probably count on some of those guys to help us out on the varsity this next year.
Yeah, it should be fun. It'll be here before you know it.
It will. I hope. I'm ready to go. We've got off season going right now, and it's kind of that grind, I guess, a little bit. But we've got tons
got all
of
kinds of
sports
sports
going on.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got, baseball started last week, and we've got soccer, and
Wrestling's been finishing up.
wrestling's been really good. We've got swimming going. We've got only two state qualifiers that the school has ever had, and so we're going to get to go watch some state swimming here before long, and swimming and diving.
And
so,
then obviously basketball's getting close to
yeah,
wrapping
basketball's
up
getting close to the playoffs, so it's there's a lot to do. I don't get bored.
No, you don't. That Suburban you're in all the time, it gets some miles on it.
Yeah, we're putting some window time
That's
in
right,
for
that's
sure.
right. Well, we'll do this again soon, but wanted to get everybody caught up with, just schedule, football, construction, all that good stuff. And we'll update everybody when we can. How
All
about
right.
that?
Very good.
Sound
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the week. But that's Joe Sexton, the man over at Cooper Liberty High School. For Colton Coons behind the camera, this is Chris Lovell. This has been another edition of Patriot Talk.